For the 2021 ISE Fair, brought to you by the Institute of Arts and Sciences, the crew of LITONG LITALKS is on its second episode of the series. Here, we take the conversations catalyzed by Ma'am MJ and Sir Marko, and we delve into Paolo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed from a young student and constituent perspective. In this part, we also talk about the role of narratives in perpetuating and questioning systems of power, briefly mentioning diaspora, gender issues, and the SOGIE Bill.
So hello everyone, this is Litong Litaks part 2. Oh no, it's episode 2 actually. It is Litong Litaks episode 2 and we're talking about the same topic as we have in episode 1, which is Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paolo Freire. And our theme for this episode is all the same. It's Down the Rails of Freire Express. And today though, however, what's different is that we're having our student panel. So everyone make some noise sa panel.
Hello!
Let's go!
Yelling!
Mahal ko si Sakusa.
Okay. So what we're hoping for today is that it'll be really fun and interactive for everyone. We're trying to simulate some sort of casual conversation. So that's what we want to do for you. And the context of our discussion will, of course, be about contemporary issues that are close to our heart as actual members of the youth and how we think these problems should be alleviated or how they are addressed. But more of the matter of just bringing it up into conversation because that's what matters. And as we have learned from the previous episode, conversations are very important. And our panel, Ma'am MJ and Sir Marko, they have emphasized time and time again how it is important for people to be amplified in the discussion of oppression and the matters at hand, of course. So basically, we're opening this with objective reality, or what we forward as truth, was created with subjective narratives of the people. And these are now the subjective narratives, as you see, with the students that we have here today. So I'll just give a brief introduction. Our first panelist, group of panelists actually. We will start with the representatives of FEU Literature Society. We have Marrian Acebuche, our vice president. Say hi, Marrian. Dancing, okay. Then we have Kristoffer Pascual, our secretary.
John.
Hello, John.
Hello,
John.
Desiree.
And then we also have Sophia Item, who is our creatives officer. Hi, Sophia. Let's go! Chaotic screaming. And then we also have representatives from the English language circle, and we'll start first with their president, of course, Juan Miguel Enriquez. Hello.
Hey everyone. Nice.
So we also have the secretary of English language circle. We have Dahrcy Carpiso. Hello, bebe.
Good day, everyone. Hello.
So before we start, we would like to say that if you hear a lot of screaming, that's normal. And we will be referring to each other as friends, which we are. So we will be using maybe some informal language, but you'll get used to it, okay? Yeah, I'm sorry. There will be a lot of like and sounds. So a lot of emoji speak here in this room. Okay, so first, I guess for the discussion that we'll be having, we'll be discussing the roles of the oppressor and the oppressed. I think this is very important in terms of the discussion that we were having yesterday. And basically, what I'm going to ask the panel right now is there any pattern behaviors that you have observed from both the oppressor and the oppressed that you want to bring onto the table? Anyone? Oh, can start, I guess.
Coming off of what the discussion about dehumanizing and humanizing was from the first episode, it was kind of a highlight to see for us. I mean, I feel like for me to have the definition that dehumanization is anything that has to do with treating you not human. I used to think that being dehumanized has to come with some sort of a big system or this like complicated process and stuff like that. But I like that Mom NJ really narrowed it down to just even like a single interaction where you're not treated as a person and you're treated as a thing, that in itself is dehumanizing, right? And I think that also shows the kind of personality you're expecting, like what kind of these people treat you as objects, right? And that we can easily identify as oppressors themselves. So I think that was something very interesting from episode 1 that I'd like to point out, because I would always acquaint that I'm not really dehumanized in such a grave extent, but considering as a woman the experiences that I've gone through, being experienced, being objectified in numerous ways, I would say that I am sufficiently dehumanized, which is sad, but it's a necessary necessary awakening. Probably a lot of rude awakenings lately. But yeah, that's it for me. Just thought of that.
How about you guys? What do the others think?
For me, it's the part wherein the equality of the social structure in our community is represented throughout the whole discussion. And I think we'll get to dive into that a little more deeper in our discussion here today. When it comes to the, let's say, the oppressors see equality as as form of oppression in a way. So I guess we'll get to discuss that more later.
Yeah.
And like, addition to Marian, di ba, like, oppression dehumanization, according to Paolo, it is thwarted by injustice, exploitation, oppression, and the violence of the oppressed, from the page 44. And what I also like about it, and what is really interesting about it, is the existence itself of oppression. Like, there wouldn't be oppression if there wouldn't be the existence of the
oppressors.
oppressed,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's very sometimes nakaka-existential crisis siya na, oh my god, yeah, like, in
Yeah.
a society na merong parang meron dalawang magtatalo talaga, di ba? Yun.
But that was a point of Sir Marko then as well, right? Now we're no longer questioning why they exist, or if they
Yeah.
exist in the first
Yeah,
place,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they're there.
Yeah.
It's already there.
Yeah.
We're now questioning why they are there in the first place.
Yeah,
Diba?
right.
I would just like to connect the idea of oppression with Spivak's violence initiated by the oppressor, which is like epistemic violence. So epistemic violence. There's a reading natin with Spivak. If can the subaltern speak? If I'm correct.
Yes.
It is to damage a given group's ability to speak and be heard. It is a violence exerted against or through knowledge, and it is probably one of the key elements in any process of domination, because you make the people inside that system think that it is necessary to have that system. Diba? Ugh.
Already, my brain is like, let's stop.
Diba? There's a process of internalization kasi in epistemic violence that you make. They discussed it very that the oppressors think that what they're doing is not wrong,
Yeah.
and then what the oppressed thinks that it is necessary for them to be in that position. Like, it's like a destiny, sinasabi nga ni Mom yesterday. They think that it's a destiny for them instead of like a situation.
I think it also has to do with, since Sophia has already mentioned Spivak, which is a really great source in terms of describing oppression from a post-colonial perspective, which is very personal to us because of our own country has undergone like a long, long history of
Thanks, babe.
oppression. Yeah, thanks, Mama.
But like, thanks.
Yeah. So because Sophia has mentioned Spivak, I think it's also fair to say how to point out one of the key points in Spivak's publication, which is that basically the dominating system or the dominating group controls the narratives that are being told in
Amen.
discussions.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
that's what we're I would like to bring that up for everyone for discussion. If you have anything that you want to say, like examples, and Freire also supports this statement when he tells us that the oppressed are often labeled as savages or barbaric by their oppressors.
Oh my God, that's so
Even when they
frustrating.
respond, yeah, right. So let's bring that up. Does anyone have any experiences or anything to say or opinions about the matter at hand?
I feel like that's like such an apparent narrative that we see, because that's why when you're looking at an issue, diba, I think we press on this a lot. When you want to look at the social issue, you have to listen to the narratives of people that are living it, not the people that are gathering up information that are outliers of the issue themselves and have something to say about it. Because first of all, sino ka? Like who are you to speak on behalf
Who
of
you?
people? Diba? But like that's the point of Spivak, diba? Can the subaltern speak? It's not that they can speak, but they're being spoken for, and that's not representation in
True.
itself.
Here,
Diba?
here.
It's like,
Yeah.
number one, if you have to represent someone, you have to at least be credible for your representation. There are like nuances to it. Even us as Filipinos, diba, there are discussions about what's good about the Philippines, and even we tend to discredit the opinion of Filipino Americans, because first of all, you're not living the reality we're living right now.
Yes,
You don't
true.
get to speak about us. If you want to speak about the issue, you talk to us. You amplify our voices, and it's kind of the thing that we're pushing for in narratives with social issues. Na parang when you look at something just with the surface, you're just going to get the ideologies and the narratives that are being pushed for people that aren't what is the word? But people that aren't even integrated in the issue themselves. Of course, their perspective isn't going to be the same.
I'd also like to add on to Marian's point. Let's say in a local sense, like, of course, there's these small groups in the Philippines fighting for those who are oppressed here. But we tend to forget that we are not supposed to fight for them. We're
Yes.
supposed to fight with them.
Mhm.
And I think that's what we lack here in terms of activism or whatnot in the Philippines. We tend to get way too ahead of ourselves. We get too angry that we forget that these people are very capable of fighting their own fighting for their own rights.
Exactly.
And we're just merely there to help them, not necessarily be there for them. That's all I can say. In terms of,
Yeah.
let's say, yeah.
This is also this is
Speak
also
then.
an emphasized point in
Yeah.
Freire in Pedagogy of the Oppressed. You
Mhm.
don't speak for them, you
Yeah.
speak with them. Kasi
Yeah,
speaking for them is oppressive in
Mhm. Yeah, he
itself,
mentioned that.
In nature, it's
you're also
oppressive. Yeah.
Kasi you're also like taking away their chance to speak. Their
Tsaka ano,
platform to
like
speak.
yung, alam niyo yung, if you've seen yung pinaka-cover, yung simula nung page ng Pedagogy of the Oppressed, parang may quote siya doon na,
Do you want me to read it for you, Toph?
yeah, yung, to the
To the
oppressed and to
those who
those who
suffer
suffered
and
with
fight
them.
at their side.
Diba? Like, hindi niya sinabi na speak over them, but
Yeah.
be with them, speak with them, or like,
Fight at their side.
yeah, exactly.
And I think this also has to connect with the discussion yesterday from what Ma'am Yu and Sir Marko were so evident in doing, which is recognizing the fact that there is privilege present.
True.
And this exists also in Spivak when they tell us that we are not technically the true oppressed, because the fact that you have education,
Yeah.
that you have a platform, you have a voice, you're still heard in the matter, although not so much. You still have some level of privilege, and it is like Mom you said, but it is a disservice to deny that fact. So what we're doing here today is that we're just trying to amplify voices that already exist. From what we've encountered so far, and it's so I think it's cool that Marrian has mentioned some specific issues in terms of diaspora, because voices do differ.
Yeah.
We are not discrediting, the Filipino Americans who are living somewhere else and having a different experience, but they also have to understand that they cannot speak for the group of people that are here in the local culture, that are integrated into this socio-political economy from a rather direct manner, because we're here, but also at the same time they have their own struggles and perspectives going on in their locations outside of the Philippines, and there are also issues that exist there, which we also have to acknowledge. So I would like to bring up now this specific discussion, and we highlighted this in our
my
notes
God.
for the reason that it's very
Oh no, what is that?
you know, so much
Am I
anger
already gonna
going
get
on.
mad? I feel like I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah. So I would like to bring up a thing that Freire has emphasized multiple times, and it is, to the oppressor, equality feels like oppression. So I'm just gonna let you guys like spiral into
Is
that.
that the fear of freedom? No.
Ayan na. Ayan na.
No, baby, it's the I think it's pretty
Nagagalit na
straightforward
ako.
what Des said. To the yeah, I feel like it's fear of freedom, pero of the oppressors,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Fear
No,
of
like
oppressors
the oppressors feels like they think the liberation is
is
oppressive
oppressive.
on their side.
Ha, ha.
Can I just like just put in like a very specific narrative here that's like very close to my heart?
Sure.
But yeah, I think as women, lol, been saying that for like fuck. My point was that the narrative I was going for. I guess calling out sexual harassment for what it is. You know how when you say that's rape and everyone's like grabe rape agad blah 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 blah, and you're like because
Ew, 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 ew.
ew men. Hi to all the men listening right now. Okay, anyways. Di ba, when you call out someone for like when you put a label on something they've done, parang you say na that's rape, and they're like, wow, grabe rape agad, ganyan. Because they know what the action necessitates, right? The reaction that it elicits. But they refuse to accept it, even if it's what actually happened, because it's like an attack na parang, wow, you would think I'm a rapist. Side note na ginawa naman nila, and that actually makes them a rapist. You know, it's like they don't want you to recognize the thing that actually happened and acknowledge the thing that it happened, because it breaks the foundation na parang, oh, all of the things that I've been doing is, you know, is aligned to being a rapist, and then they have to actually self-actualize and and think about their actions. Don't you just hear that a lot with men? They're like, grabe kung rape yun, edi yung mga ginawa ng kaibigan ko, ganun na din. Yeah, that's the point.
Exactly.
And then they get mad at you for calling them out, like it's my fault you've been raping people. Right?
Alam mo yung Tumblr ko? Citing Tumblr. Alam mo yung Tumblr ko
Ano
na
Tumblr?
ano yun? Yung when someone tells you that you've hurt them, you don't decide that you didn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't get to decide
True.
if it's
Ba?
true or not. They're telling you. And I'm like, feel ko that deviated a lot from the point. Pero the idea kasi na parang when you call out people and you present to them that, hey, you're doing wrong by me, their first reaction is to be defensive because they want to hold on to the power that they have over you, diba? And like that's the point of the oppressors, because the power that they have over you, it's beneficial to them. It's a life they've become accustomed to, and it's something, well, if anything, unfortunately, they enjoy. So, hi men.
May I add,
Yes, baby.
quoting Freire in the Pedagogy of the Oppressed, sabi niya, formerly they could eat, dress, wear shoes, be educated, travel, and hear Beethoven. While millions did not eat, had no clothes or shoes, neither studied nor traveled, much less listened to Beethoven. Any restriction on this way of life, in the name of the rights of the community, appears to the former oppressors as a profound violation of their individual rights.
Fuck them.
Although they had no respect for the millions who suffered and died of hunger, pain,
That's so
sorrow,
crazy.
and despair. Diba? The first thing
That's
that
so
I thought
direct.
of this na very prominent in the Philippines is the SOGIE Equality Act,
Let's go,
which
Sophie.
which
Lay
up
it down
until
for us,
now
girl.
which up until now is up to debate and hindi pa rin siya approved. And
my
I
God.
am wondering why
Right?
the heck. Kasi 'di ba, it is an anti-discrimination act that aims to protect all people from prejudice.
Lahat
Sabi nga, yeah, lahat like As stated nga in the Declaration of Policy, Section 2, the state recognizes the fundamental right of every person, regardless of sex, age, class status, ethnicity, color, disability, religious and political beliefs, sexual orientation, or gender identity or expression, to be free from any form of discrimination.
That's so
It
sick.
shall therefore intensify its efforts to fulfill its duties under the Equal Protection Clause and the Bill of Rights provisions of the Philippine Constitution and international and domestic laws to respect, protect, and fulfill the rights of dignity of every individual. Diba?
Every
What?
individual.
Every individual. The very problem in this is because the term sexual orientation or gender identity or expression is included, which gives rights to the LGBTQ plus QI plus community. Diba? Tapos, yung opposition towards the bill, their arguments are more of it will imperil the freedom of speech and religion and put into question the very foundation of our laws. This is a direct quote from a religious speaker. And then it will give special rights to the LGBTQI plus community. Special rights.
What special rights that they deserve that they should have
There's
had?
barely any rights, my god.
Tapos,
There's no such thing as
they
special
have
rights.
this thing. They have this thing in social media nga called for Gen Zs. They have this thing sa social media called heterophobia.
Oh my god.
Not even a thing.
Please.
They think that the
Disgusting.
LGBTQI plus community having the proper rights and protection as they should is oppressive on the end of those who are not a part of it. Kasi
That is-
oppressive, diba? It is only oppressive on. It's not even oppressive.
It's not oppressive at
It's
all.
not. It's not at all.
It's the
Diba? It
idea
only
that
stop-
their belief is
Okay,
for
one by one.
everyone. Diba?
Diba?
Ito na naman.
Sabi nga, diba, as said nga by Metro Manila Pride, the SOGIE Bill aims to protect people who are continually harmed from a societal and institutional level. It is about ensuring that people are protected from abuse, dehumanization, and violence. Seeking an end to abuse is not about special treatment. It is about wanting to be respected as human beings. If you think dehumanization or like discrimination towards other people on the basis of your beliefs is a right, it's a human right. There's something wrong with you.
Is it right that you want to hold on to? Diba?
Diba? There's
You
something
like
wrong
that?
with you.
You like knowing that your beliefs are oppressing people and that you want to maintain that. Because you have the capacity to change it and you're just like, no heart. Ganon. What?
Stress ako. Gusto ko isampal si Paolo sa kanila. Ito,
I
pedagogy.
I would like to say, di ba yung parang, yung in terms of like the SOGIE Bill, it's already painful enough that the LGBTQIA plus community has to demand for rights in the
ask,
first
no?
place. Di ba? Na
That's
it
so
should have been
sad.
inherent.
Yeah.
Like, they should have already had
Exactly.
these rights. And
They're
it's like,
people.
to say na parang it's special rights. Like, the fact that we have to protest for it,
Yeah.
the fact that we have to
Like-
lobby for it.
No.
And like the manner
tough.
of passing the bill, it's like very repetitive na, pero parang lumalabas lang sa kabilang tenga nila na,
Totoo.
we don't
System
understand
kasi,
this. Diba?
homophobia
Like,
is
it's
in the system itself. It's even in the government, inside the Supreme Court. Diba?
Just like kill everyone here.
There's
I'm sorry po,
homophobia
I'm sorry, I'm
everywhere.
sorry.
Oh my God.
Why are you apologizing? Why are you apologizing? It's
Okay,
fine.
tandaan nyo. So, tandaan yung timestamp para matanggal.
Tawa.
Pakitanggal po, ayoko pumakulong.
Imagine just putting that part, like yung sabi ni Sophia, yung pakitanggal ayoko makulong, like just sa start ng podcast. Like that's it, no context. Ayoko makulong. Nakakainis.
Nakakatawa.
Oh, sige.
Do you guys have to add? Do you have anything to add?
Do
pala
you
to
have
that?
anything to add? Keep going. It's fine.
Gusto nyo ba mag-indigenous people talk?